Welcome. So Alex has that camera set up, so I'm going to be on this side because I'm going to be avoiding it. So you guys talk to me from this side. Thank you for coming. You guys excited? Yes. Learning a lot? Yes. Do we have any birthdays today? I mean this month? Any July birthday? Of course. Edie, it's not your birthday. Okay, so for my birthday girls, you get to wear beads today. Get over it. No, why am I falling? Oh, yes, right, Lori. I know it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I'm easy. Okay, so I want to tell you there's a reason I did that. This class is about sponsoring, which makes it about relationships. So anytime you're doing an event of any kind, you're always looking for a way to have added value, okay? So I'm a huge believer, and I want you to know this is just a simple little, maybe $3, if that. And hi, you're a winner. Did you know that? Would you tell them?
Because I'm in this room all day.
Would you tell them what's in your bag?
Yes. Do I need glasses?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, it's great samples.
Now listen. Oh gosh, we're on camera. God, don't do this. Oh. I just needed it for. We have our own samples that Jordan Essentials make, but I needed these really quickly just to show you something. So what this is, you can tell them.
Oh, so I have a skin relief, which is amazing. Oatmeal milk and honey. I have an oatmeal milk and honey salt scrub and a Dead Sea salt, so I have a basic system. Basically.
Exactly. So when you're doing the little giveaways, my point is do something so that people are getting an opportunity to use your product. Because as my friend just said to me just before I left, I had given her a glycerin soap with her order. She's just a really good customer. She texted me and said, I love that glycerin soap. Could you order me a few bars? And I said, of course. She sent me a text. She said, so that's how you do it. And I actually really didn't do it for that reason, but yay. So the point is, sponsoring and anything we do, many of you, I have signed your sheets today, and you asked me for a tip. And I have said repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again that building good relationships is the key to everything that we do. It's the key to sponsoring. It's the key to selling. It's the key to booking. Because if you don't have any relationships, who's going to book with you? And how do you do that? This class is about sponsoring, but we have to get over this hurdle to get to the point of sponsoring. So how do you build good relationships? Somebody tell me. Ooh, you've been on my train. Yes. Listen more than you talk. And what was that, Sharon?
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Yes. Ooh. We just learned that in our leadership training on were you in there? Were you listening? No. Ask open-ended questions. Yes. Care. Oh, I love that. When I say care enough to share it, I use that term all the time. Care. So that means what?
To me, it means care more about what they have to say and their feelings than what I can tell them about me and my feelings.
Did you guys hear that? That's critical. Please, could you stand up and repeat that? I'm going to move and let you do this class.
Care more about them and what they have to say and how they feel instead of what I have to say about how I feel and me. They are more important.
This was supposed to be a door prize, but this belongs to you.
Oh.
The reason The reason it belongs to you is that is my number one tip. I'm going to give you guys notes, but I won't give them to you now because I know y'all start reading, stop listening to me. But it's my number one tip. Genuinely care about people and what they want. And I want to tell you what that does. It frees you. It creates freedom. Because a lot of times, and this was me, oh Lord, I think I've made every mistake you can make in a business. I still make some. But this was me. Well, when I first came in, I'd never done direct sales. I didn't know what I was doing. But they said to sponsor, and I'm very obedient. I work for Army, so I take orders well. So they told me to sponsor. So I was like, okay. So I started sponsoring, but I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing these people. And oh, God, I hate to tell you, it's nightmarish. But I could sponsor them. But it wasn't really about them. Honestly, I'll just go ahead and tell you, it wasn't. It was more about, I was told to do it, I'm obedient, and I did it. But I have had such a paradigm shift. It is about the person, and this will free you. If you are afraid of approaching people, or you feel anxiety, or you feel like you're bothering them, or you feel, oh my God, they may say no. Let me tell you how to free yourself from that fear. When you are offering the opportunity or product or anything to people, it is all, you are offering it because you care enough to share. You know you have a great product. You know you have a great opportunity. You know they can earn wonderful things from hosting a show. If they say no, okay, you've done your job. I have no fear of sharing anymore because I really want, you know what the answer I want from them? Do you know? I want what they want. So if they tell me no, they're telling me no for a reason. It could be they don't have any money. Oftentimes that's true. Anybody been there, done that? Got my t-shirt? A few of them. They may not have any money, or they just may have a fear. I was listening to somebody talk about being in a company that sold out, and everybody had all of these people, and how many people were hurt. There's a lot of fear because there's a lot of deceit in our world. So people may be saying no for that reason. So remember, when people say no, it's not about you. It's not about me. And if I really, really care about that person, as you just said, Rebecca, if I really care, I care if it's no. So I want to ask you a question. Who has approached somebody since you've been here about the opportunity? You go, girlfriend. This woman is on her way to the top. Tell us about that. Tell us who and why.
I had talked to a couple of my friends, one or two people in my family about joining. And so when we posted the kit earlier, the Amanda Payne posted the picture of the kit for $79. I sent the picture and I sent a little blurb about it to 4 or 5 people.
I love it. Now you guys know why Morgan is one of the top 3 new consultants in the company. Loving it, loving it. Okay, what about here? What about since you've been traveling? What about at the hotel? Huh? And tell me, okay, I love it. Tell me why you didn't.
She was serving, and I didn't want to embarrass her in front of anybody else.
Okay.
Her bosses that might come by.
Sure, you were being thoughtful.
I was trying to be.
Okay. Well, I just did. I didn't plan to. It wasn't in my, there are always these windows of opportunity, and you have to know when there is a window of opportunity. But when I'm traveling, and I travel a lot, and for about 3 days, I don't let anybody clean my room. Do you know why? No, because I know how hard it is. I got to clean a bathroom and make a bed. Why does she need to do that? I don't do that in my house every day. So I do it for the lady who's cleaning my room. I mean, my husband and I are both the same way. If he's with me, I may need to be clean a little bit sooner. But oh gosh, he's coming. Don't y'all tell her. But Oh, this is being recorded. Oh, no end in sight for me. But in any case, but I needed some coffee and I needed some water. So I heard her knock on somebody's door, and so I went out and said, ma'am, I don't need you to clean my room, but could you please give me some coffee and some water? And I said, you know what, I don't clean my room every day, so I don't expect. She said, thank you so much. And I said, you're perfectly welcome. And then she said, and I was never going to mention the business to her. I just wanted to do that. And then when she said, thank you so much, I thought, you know what, let me give her something. I had just won that stuff, so I had some shea butter. And I said, let me just bless you. I'd just like to give you some shea butter. And I gave her the shea butter. She said, you're with those. I can tell what she said about y'all. No. She said, I love it when you guys come. It smells so good here. I said, oh, so you're familiar with Jordan Essentials? She said, yes, I love it when you come. And I said, huh? Okay, Cindy. Oh my gosh. So I said, wow. I said, do you have a consultant? You know, is there somebody that's taking care of you? And she said, no. And I said, well, you know what? I had not planned to do this, but let me just give you a catalog. It's it's outdated, but this is the one that I have, and my contact information is right here, or if you want me to call you. And I said, you know what? You may even want to consider the business. It just went on sale for $79, over $300 and something worth of product. And she said, wow, I'm going to look through this. And I said, and if you want me to call you, you can give me a number, or you can call me. She said, you know what? Let me look through and call you. And I honored that. But I'm going to tell you the main reason I did it. I would like to see somebody cleaning her room next year instead of her cleaning their room. And that was a window of opportunity. I would have never, ever talked to her about the business because I sincerely just wanted to bless her. But I believe that was called a divine appointment, if you know what I mean. Some of you know what that means. So use opportunities and care. I'd like to hear from you. Don't be shy. It's okay. I probably have already heard it because I've already not done it. I'd like to hear from you some of the challenges and I'm going to address some things, but I'd like to hear from you some of the challenges you face with sponsoring, or some of the reasons you may not feel comfortable approaching. Yes, Shelley.
Just one example. I had a lady on one of the hotel stays on the way here. We started building a relationship. She just went out of her way. She went downstairs to get tea for my boys. I mean, she was just serving us, and so we got to talking. And she really had to get it out of me, what I did. I should have told her, and she's like, well, what do you do? Well, what is that? She asked for a catalog. She wants me to email her. She goes, when you get back, I want to order some product. I want to get better about not being afraid to be bold enough to approach her and say, hey, this is what I do. And she even told me, she goes, I'm always interested in businesses where people seem passionate and you seem passionate about what you do.
I love it.
And I didn't, it didn't seem that way to me. I felt like I should have done this. So that's not the first time or the second time that I've done that or not been prepared or not had a catalog. So I think I get intimidated, or I feel like I'm pushing something on them before I even get to a chance. And that is one of my goals this year.
Why do you feel like you're pushing something on them?
I guess I just don't want that done to me. Like, I don't know. I don't even know why I feel that way, really. I just feel like they're not interested before I even start. I don't know.
Everybody always assumes you're just selling something.
Yeah. And I wanted to build a relationship. I mean, we were like, I guess I don't want her to think that I have some sort of hidden agenda.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I do. I understand.
I really like though what we learned yesterday, which what the leaders had to learn yesterday, what Pam said, is that we have to choose not to, I would not word like she said, but make the decision for them. Which is basically we don't offer to them because we are afraid that they will not be interested. And so we've not given them the option, the choice. So if we do that, then we don't know what they need. We need to listen, which is what she said, and care about what their needs are at.
Amen.
I think that's the key, because I feel the same way. Sometimes I feel like, oh, it's drink sales, and they're gonna think direct sales is, I'm trying to like sell them something. But I don't know what their needs are, because I've already made that decision for them. I decided what their needs are, instead of asking them. And just tell them, if they say no, then they say no, it's okay, I've at least.
You've done your job.
I've done my job. And then you go to the next person, not worry about it.
And you bring that up, and I thought of Pam today. That's why I said something to that lady. How dare you choose for her? You may be able to give this lady an opportunity to do something different, and you're just going to be quiet. You're not going to do that. What was that, Cindy?
The story that Pam told us yesterday about the lady.
Tell the story.
I remember.
Oh, no, I can't go there because everybody be crying, and we don't have enough time. And I'll be crying, and I don't have enough time. No, Cindy, if you want to tell, that's fine, but she told a tearjerker. Maybe if there was enough time in the end. You had a comment?
I think I'm very much like her.
Shelley? Uh-huh.
And it's because I'm still thinking in terms of what I'm afraid of rather than, and the reason that I have done so many direct sales and I failed at all of them, all but one. And the reason that I decided to do it one more time, and my husband just rolled his eyes, is because Jordan Essentials is not about me. Jordan Essentials, from what I can tell, is serving others.
Amen.
And once I can get that mindset, then I won't have that fear anymore. But I have that fear. Am I pushing this on her? Am I trying to talk her into something? Am I trying to do this for me? Once I reach the point that this is a service to her, she can accept it or reject it. That's up to her for whatever reason. But it's a service to her. It's her opportunity, not mine.
Amen. So, stay right where you are. That's perfect. That takes me to the next point. Do you guys think we have a product that's worth sharing?
Yes.
Do you think we have an opportunity that's worth sharing?
So why not?
So why wouldn't we want to share it? Why? If that lady, wherever I was at a conference, if that lady hadn't shared with me, I would not have gotten to meet any of you. What a loss to my life that would have been. I would not be using wonderful skincare product. I would not have a wonderful, lucrative business and an amazing team and just be surrounded by so much goodness if that lady had not shared with me. So I want you to think about that. Every time you feel a fear or you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want them to think. Just think, you may do something that could change somebody's life. Think about that. You literally could change somebody's life with the product, with the opportunity, and even with something bigger than that, with the fellowship and the growth that we have in Jordan Essential Spirit, Soul, and Body. We may be doing that to somebody. We may be negligent, not intentionally, but we may be being negligent when we have a great product. Now, if it were something and you didn't feel comfortable about it and you didn't feel good about it and you didn't feel good about the product, of course you wouldn't want to share it. Well, I wouldn't even be here. Am I right, Sharon? Had my husband not stopped sharing and wherever we were, just think about that. None of us would be here if somebody didn't share with us. Carol, I think you had your hand up. Oh, you were scratching?
Sometimes we don't share because we are afraid. But sometimes what we are afraid of is not because we don't have a good thing to share. And some of you, we've talked earlier today, sometimes we haven't shared because we're afraid of being successful, or we're afraid of letting God bless us. Because the truth is, sharing something that you already are not sure that you're good enough to have, you get afraid to share it. But you're here because you're good enough. You're here because you were chosen. You're here because you're meant to be here. So when you meet someone and you feel that nudging that you should tell them, it's because you're supposed to tell them. And just let it happen. And then you don't have to drive away going, I should have told her. I should have told. Just tell her, because someone did the same thing for you. They jumped that gap of fear and said, you know what? I deserve this and she deserves this. And we both deserve to be here. Let me tell her what's happening in my life. Even if it's scary, even if you're not sure how you're going to make it happen, and you're just like, Lord, I want to do this, I want to make this happen. I've been there. Sometimes I'm still there. But you know, it's a very clarifying situation to realize, you know, maybe I'm just afraid of that success. I'm afraid of fulfilling my destiny. Maybe that's why I'm afraid to share. And once you admit that, it becomes much easier to share. Because you can say, yeah, that's just me. That's nothing to do with this person. I should tell her this is an awesome thing she can do. I don't want her to miss this because of me, because of my fear. You know, and the thing is, show up for yourself. When you share, you show up for yourself. It's not just growing your team. It's growing you as a person. Because you can share all this care and love you have in your heart. You wouldn't be here if you didn't care about other women. Because that's how Jordanvention is. Nobody's here because they want to make $1 million. You know what? You're here because you cared about somebody enough to join, whether it was for eczema or for skincare for some other woman you wanted to bless. I guarantee you. I've never seen it not happen. And so you care enough, so show up for yourself and care enough to share and tell them. So
Amen. Good point. Shelley, thank you for speaking up, because I was in the back of that room one day feeling the same way, but I didn't speak up. I didn't tell people, oh, I don't, you know, I let all these opportunities pass me by, and I still do sometime. But just 1 second, I want to say something though. A very good thing that happened with you though, is anytime somebody asks us a question, it has freed us up to share. So if somebody says, Gloria, what do you do? By the way, my name is Gloria. I forget to tell you that. But when somebody says, what do you do? You know, and I'll say, oh, I'm a consultant for a bath and body company, and I don't do what I used to do. I don't regurgitate. I don't try to tell them everything about Jordanvention in the next 30 minutes. I have learned that's a horrible thing to do. Sometimes we overtell and oversell. It is actually better to let people come to you. So you give some information that's thought-provoking, and they're going to say, oh, well, why is that, Morgan? I'm glad you asked. And I have really toned that down. And another point is when you're sponsoring or you're talking to people about the business, please listen more than you talk. Okay.
You could ask what your struggles with sponsoring were, and I think
I need to come to that side. The camera's over there.
offer it to them and then they say no. So then you just wonder, is it a no? Do you just take it as a no? Or is it that because you didn't offer it correctly, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can just see that it's what could transform their lives, but they're choosing to say no. And you don't want to be that person who says it every time, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do. You don't want to hound them. You want to keep them as friends. You don't want them running every time they see you or avoiding your phone call. Anybody know anything about that? You don't want that. There's a great window of opportunity right now with that $79 sign up. So one thing that you might want to do, and this is not being pushy at all, you could go back to Joan and say, hey, Joan, you know, I know we had talked about the business and we had talked about you really wanting to stay home with your kids. And you know, we've talked about Jordanvention before. However, I just learned some things while I was at convention, and we had a great leadership training, and that stuff is going to get posted on the website. And and I learned some things, and I just really like to sit down and talk to you about the possibilities. It's a great $79 sign-up special right now. I'd really love to help you meet your goal of staying home with your kids. And it may not be for you, but if we sit down and talk, we can look at it, and maybe if it's not, it's not. If it's a possibility, we may go there. But I would reach back out. I would. Okay, I'm sorry. Was that you, Morgan? Who had their hand up? I saw a hand.
There was something in the last session, I know some people weren't here, but we had talked a little bit about that, like being the hard no, being uncomfortable, and Cindy shared kind of like that awkward moment afterwards. I was asking her how you kind of recover, because some people give you that hard no, and she was saying that she tells people, I knew you were mentioning wanting to stay home with your children, and I know this is such a great opportunity to make a difference in my life, and if I knew I could help you and didn't offer, I'd be ashamed of myself.
Perfect.
And I was like,
perfect. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And that's what we're talking about, caring enough to share. Yes.
I was going to say, you've said several times to us in our training, no is not necessarily a no, even if it's a hard no, it's a not now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a not now, and that's the one thing that I think I struggle with the most is the no. Because I figure, okay, fine, because I'm a no-nonsense person. When somebody tells me no, okay, fine, I'm moving on. And having to kind of refocus that and say, okay, fine, it's just not now for them.
Mm-hmm.
It may mean 3 months down the line, their life changes. They need an opportunity like this. Or they are just inundated with so much personal stuff, they need time away from it. And this is an excuse for it. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but realistically, I think for me, that's how I get my energy back sometimes. My mental energy that I need is to be around ladies like you because it encourages me to continue to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched what happened to you after you came to product lunch. You were about ready to quit, and then you start signing up all these people. I'm like, whoa.
I swear that's exactly what happened. Because I came to my director, Rita Kirk, in February, and I just told her, I said, I think, I just need to take a step back from Jordan Essentials altogether. I said, I know I signed up under the military program, and I'm a free use consultant primarily. And, now and then I'll do a couple shows here and there, but realistically, that's all I really want to do. I just have too much stuff going on in my personal life right now to focus on something else. And she's like, I don't think so. And that's what she said. I mean, in her own words, in her sweet vernacular, she said, I don't think so. But we'll see about that. You come to spring lunch and we'll see what happens. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I sat there idly, and she had communicated this to Gloria.
Yeah. Right, no, not happening.
So what do you think of spring lunch? I said, I think it's great. I said, I'm just going to see how things, iron out in the next few months. And I think that was just my mind and God saying, okay, fine, let me just drop you this and drop you this. And every month I was signing up one person.
Absolutely.
By no effort
Yeah.
whatsoever. I just shared Jordan Essentials with them, either on Facebook or they were somebody I knew from high school 30 years ago that has seen me on Facebook and said, you don't look 45, what are you doing? And so they approached me, and so I told them, and they said I need to sign up.
And
And that's one per month, and I didn't even try.
she did it, and thank you for saying that. She didn't try. You know what she did? What did she do? She shared. And that's the difference. Sometimes we have sponsoring campaigns and I'm all at it. And when I'm going out there for the wrong reason, it always messes up. Always. But when I go out there for the right reason, following up with somebody who has already told me they're interested in the business and saying, hey, guess what? $79 sign up. I'm supposed to do that. Somebody else had their hand up. I don't want to miss you. Oh,
I did, but I was just gonna say, when she said failed at other businesses, you really didn't fail at
yes.
hers. You
I meant to go back.
And that's what I think a lot of people are afraid of when we want to help them.
And I think things like this are wonderful because it gives them the opportunity to try it and like it for themselves and become passionate about it. And I sponsored my sister-in-law to be to start selling Jordan Essentials.
Congratulations.
And she's very excited about it, so I paid for her because she couldn't afford it. But I think that was a gift from me to her. So sometimes maybe even if it's somebody that you really know needs it and will eventually do something, maybe even giving that gift,
Okay, so this is an awkward moment for me, but I got to do this because as a leader, you need to know. You can't, normally you can't pay for somebody to sign up. So, and I know you didn't know it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I just want to give that message out so that if you're hearing that, you just know. I owe you that.
Well, she needs magnesium, she needs all kinds of stuff.
No,
so
but
I did.
that is not a criticism at all. You literally didn't know, and so a lot of people in here don't know that, and so I'm just making you guys aware of that. But that was so big of you. Any other, Shelley? And Edie, I'll get you just one second.
I was just going to say to piggyback, Beth Ann's training was Stimulus on Team Building, and then to come in here, you're both talking about relationships. And if you're looking at someone as a person and their needs and not a leg or what they do, it does make it easier because you're really not, and I do think that maybe that's part of my fears. I don't want it to be, an agenda. I want it to be, so sometimes the fine line between building your business and wanting to grow and promote and do these things, and the other part of it is just being real and being a person and caring about them. And these things are going to come if you're doing first.
Exactly. And Shelley, that was so well said, but that doesn't surprise me because you're so relational. When you talk about taking care of people and not being your agenda, that is a huge thing. When it becomes our agenda, we always mess it up. And that's why when we're team building and, sometimes we're promoting, we always approach with, I'd call, I would say, somebody who might be at a point where they're going to promote to Star 3, for instance. I say, you know what? We have one leg that has $150 and she's $50 short of being in our drawing. Not about you promoting, you know what I mean? So you keep it about that person. Edie?
Kind of along the same line.
Uh-huh.
That when we're striving and when we have to and we have an agenda,
No.
it's
It's stressful.
not fun.
It isn't. It's not fun.
It's not fun to be a leader in that position. That is one of my greatest joys being part of Jordan Essential is having a team and my relationships with my team. And it's just not fun any other way. And
Yeah.
why do this if it's not fun?
Yes.
You can go out and do anything and have pressure and stress or doldrums or whatever. But we're here to have a great time with each other and to be a blessing to others. And dang it, if it's not fun, don't do it.
Exactly.
And that just it just robs you of your joy.
And it goes back to what Zig Ziglar said, help enough people get what they want, and you will always get what you want. If you keep it about the other person, you will always get what you want. So we talked about always been about the other person. We talked about finding the need and meeting the need. There is a great interview sheet that Pam, what's Pam's last name? The trainer that was at, what? Dean. That she gave us when we were at leadership training, and it's going to be put out on the website. But it is a great interview form. It's wonderful. It's the best one I've ever seen, because what it does, it lets you get to know the person first. Because sometimes, I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to think I'm crazy because this is a sponsoring class, but sometimes the person isn't a good fit for us. You know, I know I'm being recorded and Nancy's going to see this. Amanda, be quiet. But sometimes the person isn't a good fit. I have actually told somebody that, you know what, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure that this is, because a lot of times, sometimes people come in with a lot of preconceived notions. Thank you very much. And they've been in a bad situation or a hurtful situation, so it's critical from the very beginning. And so you're spending all of your time overcoming objections. And that's a red flag. If your whole conversation is overcoming objections and but, sometimes it's just really not a good fit. So doing that interview and using that interview form that Pam has, because what it does, the first portion of it lets you get to know the person. Then it lets you share the Jordan Essentials story. Then we invite her to join, and then we start her strong. Okay? Monthly activity, a key to sponsoring. I'm telling you, a key to sponsoring is having monthly activity. And I'm going to tell you, the best sponsoring comes out of spa shows. It does. It's just a fact of life. Why do you think that is?
It's fun, they're experiencing stuff, seeing you having fun, seeing how much you're going to make that night. I loved what Nancy was showing me that. Would you rather have?
$100, I love you. I'd say, give me that 100 now. But that's true. Tammy, may I put you on the spot? Okay, so, and you know what? I don't even know why I said that. Tammy is a brand new consultant of mine. She's from Lebanon, Missouri. And I just did a spa show for her a couple of weeks ago. Why did you sign up? And tell them how you did that. I'm like, okay.
Well, I think for me, I liked you for one thing.
Well, thank you. I like you too.
That's something I was going to bring up is that, you know, we read each other pretty good, and we're leery of people in general. So as we've gotten older and more experienced and more wise, we have learned maybe who we can trust and who we can't trust. And I knew she was genuine and caring and really, really did care about what I needed, because it was a couple times that we talked before we had the show that I was like, well, I can't do it, I'm too busy, and I was like, you know, but call me back. And she was faithful, she followed through, she did not become restless with me or annoyed or any of those things. She called back and we got together and we finally got it together. But I think, so that was a big impact, is the consultant. If she would have been pushy, or if she would have been rude, or if she would have been in any way, shape, or form not a people person, I probably would have said, nah, I'm not interested. And then I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the products, because unless somebody else came along. But I benefit from the products if I had a lot of health issues in the last 3 years. So, and I suffer with migraines, I still do, but I remember when she came to show the products at our work, because we have a boss that they know each other, and so she was able to come into our work environment after hours, and so we did this at our work. And I was just kind of testing some of the magnesium product, and I was just suffering with this headache all day long, and I was rubbing it on my hands, and I just kind of smelled it, because gosh, you know, it's peppermint, it smelled wonderful. And I had a little bit experience with essential oils, but not much, because it was kind of confusing. But when I used that, about 5 minutes later, I just realized my headache was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Gloria was setting things up, I was like, Gloria, I think there's a connection with the fact that I put this on. And she was just still putting stuff out. Yeah. She's so used to it. She knows it. And for me, it was my first experience with the health benefits of it.
And you said this on camera. Uh-huh. That's not how it's done.
Anyway, going back to the original question, I think that's what got me hooked. First, it was her, for sure, and then the products sold themselves. And then we had so much fun. It was just 3 of us.
we were all coworkers, and we could just put on those masks and look silly and do silly things. And she was patient, and she allowed us to say some really crazy things.
We're on camera.
I just thought about it like this. If I want to get more of these products, I have a good job, but I have a lot of bills, and I would really like to get it at a better price. And I'm a people person too, and I've done some direct sales when I was younger, but I think I could do this. I really think, because you don't have to try to persuade someone, because I gave it to people that I worked with to try samples, and they were like, oh yeah, give me some of that, oh yeah, give me some of that. I didn't have to do anything but other than try this and come back and talk to me in a couple minutes or 10 minutes, whenever you're ready to come talk to me. And they'd come back, can you please order me some of that magnesium peppermint lotion? I'm like, yeah, it works, doesn't it? So that's how it worked for me.
I love it. Okay, so that was, thank you. I didn't pay her to say that. I didn't even know what she was going to say. But it brings home a point about the spa show. She was having fun. She got to try the product. It worked. There were only 3 people, but and she was I said, oh, it's wonderful, because when I have a small crowd, I get to do more. And I get to really pamper and take care of, and I had so much fun. Plus, I had worked all day, and I was super tired, and I had gone straight over, and it was actually good for me. And I got to sit down with everybody, but having that fun. And we had, and I didn't even ask her about coming on board. In fact, what was I doing? I was demoing something, and she said, I want to do this. And I said, oh, okay. And I just kept doing what I was doing. And she said, I want to do this. And I said, great, we'll get you signed up. And then she came to a show right after that I did, and I knew you had done direct sales. You know how I knew? Because you jumped in and you just start doing stuff, and then when you helped me pack my stuff, she packed it in order. Like, who is this? And we have her premiere show on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm glad you shared that story, not because of me, but because it just demonstrates that when you're in front of people, and people are having fun, and and that show was almost $600, and there were 3 people, but we left some samples, and all these people tried it, and they fell in love. And she had another person at the show. She got 2 bookings at that show, by the way. Because I'm big into booking in your birthday month. By the way, that's another little tip for you. I booked, and so we had 2 people with July birthdays. I said, who has July birthdays? And 2 people raised their hand. I said, great. Love to do your party and have Jordan Essentials pay for your gifts. And they said, oh, I want to do it. But one of those, she is going to sign up. You know how I know? Because she was following me around when I was packing and saying all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to be calling her a little bit, and we're going to get her signed up under Tammy. But anyway, so you got to get in front of people. Always share features, benefits, and stories. People don't want a lot of data. Some people want a lot of data, but you don't give them data up front, okay? And I'm going to give you all these notes. Do not overshare. Always know, and what's her name? Deb Bixler. If you haven't listened to her training, it is superb. It's some of the best training, and I've been doing this for a minute. It's some of the best training I've ever heard. She knows what she's doing. She's been there, done that, and I know it works. But you need to go listen to her. She has a whole series on sponsoring that we could never cover here. But she says to know at least 20 reasons why it's a good thing to be a Jordan Essentials consultant. Somebody give me, real quick, 3. Fellowship. Yeah, and that's a huge part of what we do. Faith and family first. Fun. We could go on and on. Yeah. Huh? Oh, yes. You're quick, girl, but I've always known that. Always be ready to close the deal. Like when Tammy said, I want to sign up. Even though I was still doing the show, I was ready mentally, and we didn't need an application because, we had a computer. But always have an application on you and always be able and ready to finalize that deal if somebody wants to come on board. Tammy mentioned it, have fun. Fun attracts people. Did you know that? Laughter attracts people. Do you know I used to never do games at my shows when I first came on board? Number one, I didn't know what I was doing. And number two, I just wasn't a game person. But I have learned something. Women love games. And you know what else they like? They like door prizes. They do. It energizes everybody. So do that. Be an example of who people want to follow. If you're into Facebook and you put the personal stuff and the negative stuff and the critical stuff, y'all know some of that stuff, stop it. You know why? You could be the best person in the world and you can have a moment and get out there and post some stuff. And some certain people can see that, and that will be the impression they have of who you are. Even though that may not be who you are, you're just having a moment. But don't put it in writing anytime. Not just on Facebook. Don't put it in writing. I always say don't put anything in writing that you don't want anybody to be able to see. Let your performance be your testimony. When people see the catalog, I love the new catalog. You know why I like it? I like that it's easy. Because Tammy and I'm going to do my practice on your show on Saturday. We'll do it together. But we're going to go do the catalog. And when people see that that's easy, they're like, "Ooh, I can do that." If you can read, you can do that. And then teach others to do what you do. Because in sponsoring, you want to build a team, but you also want to teach the people under you to do these things so that they can teach the people under them to do these things so that they can teach the people under them to do these things. Who knows is there anybody in this room, I know you don't, Tammy, is there anybody in this room who does not know what these are? Raise your hand if you don't know what this is. You can guess? Okay, who has never seen one of these? Uh-huh. Man, I'd love to have these in the rep kit. This is one of the most vital tools. This is my friend. I love these things. And you know what? I use these usually at my main drawing at my spa shows. You know why? Paula, why do I use these? Because I get some vital information from that. And you know one of the main things I get? Well, of course it's going to tell me if they're interested in the spa show. It's going to tell me if they're interested in the da-da-da. But I love, it has their birthday month on it. And so they're always shocked when I call and I say, Lori, hi. I see you have a birthday coming up. Guess what? We're doing a get-together and a birthday celebration on the 6th. I'd love to have you come and bring your friends. And guess what? People almost always say yes. They like you celebrating them. I love doing that. And I do the multi-hostess, multi-consultant thing every month. And so I usually have at least 3 birthdays that we're celebrating. And so that's 3 spa shows. And then we're celebrating women. Isn't that fun? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So this is a great tool to have and a great tool to introduce to your consultants. So these are some things really quickly, because I think, where are we on time? What time am I supposed to be finished? Oh my goodness, we're getting out of here. Okay, so I'm going to say, no, because the next person needs to come in to set up. These are the advantages that we have right now. Okay? New products, new catalog, simple delivery system with that catalog, the sign-up special. We're super excited. When do we sponsor easier? When we're excited, highly motivated, and we have a strong belief in what we do, what we do makes a difference. You guys believe that? So you ready? So I don't want to leave here without a couple of action steps. Before you leave here, I want you to think of at least 3 people that you are going to contact. You know, I am looking at you. That you are going to contact and just share about the special. If they say no, it's okay. You did what Gloria asked you to do, right? So I want you to do that. And then I want you to, when that interview form is posted, I want you to pull that interview form. I want you to practice with somebody, okay? And then the last thing I want you to do, I want you to believe in you. And I want you to believe that we have an amazing opportunity, amazing product, and more people need to know about this. Not because of us, not because of income, but we're changing lives. Look at, Tammy told me about, and this is going to be real quick, but at the show that I just did, Tammy told this story, just blew my mind. She works with a lady who is a cancer patient, and she's going through all chemo and and she has pain everywhere. And she started using the magnesium, and it has impacted her life immensely. When we don't tell people, we lose the opportunity for that. So I want you to leave here knowing we are in a mission field. It's bigger than a product. It's bigger than the opportunity. It's bigger than the business, and it's bigger than us. Okay? Thank you so very much for and for all of your input. And I look forward to watching all of you grow.